Okay, so here's part two of my interview with Wendy H. Jones, and she introduced herself in the last interview. So if you didn't see that, you definitely want to go back and take a look because we had a wonderful discussion about books and writing and the writer's journey and all of that. But today we are going to address the elephant in the room as far as writers are concerned. It's the big thing that nobody really wants to talk about or think about because it's so scary. But we have to talk about it. And so Wendy is going to give us some incredible wisdom and understanding about marketing and promoting your books. Okay, folks, you need to pay attention. I want you to actually pause the video right now, get out a notepad or something that you can record things on and start taking some notes because she's got some things to tell you that are going to give you some tools you need so that people can find your books. Let's face it, you wrote the book, it's great, you put it up on Amazon along with a cajillion other people in your same genre who have books out there, and you look at your rankings and you're number 289,562 in the rankings, okay? And it's like, what do I do now? And you've sold 2 books this week that you're really excited about, and that's it. And the crickets start, and it's scary. Okay, so voice of reason. Wendy, thank you for coming back and playing with us today.
You're welcome.
So,
hey, always a pleasure.
So she's just so knowledgeable, and she's not a newbie by any stretch of the imagination to the publishing world. She's going to teach some things, and I am the student here. So I am ready to sit and listen to some great advice about what I can do to get my amazing books found by the people who most want to read them.
Well, thank you very much, Bonnie. I mean, you've said that you want to hand over to me and I can say whatever I want, which I have to say is very brave of you. Very brave of you indeed. I'm from Scotland. Never tell me I can do what I want. Anyway, first of all, I want to say we need to start off with why market your book. Well, you've set the scene quite nicely there. Why market your book? Because lights and bushels spring to mind straight away. Never hide your light under a bushel. Never hide your book under a bushel. Nobody is going to look at your book if they don't know it's out there. That's the bottom line. Now, the difficulty is, and I'm going to unpack a little bit of people's personalities. A lot of writers say, oh, well, I just want to write. That's all I want to do. I don't want to do anything else. That's absolutely fine. There is no problem with that. Yeah, there's no problem with it whatsoever. But if you just want to write, just write. You don't need to get your books published because you're spending money to get books published or somebody's publishing you. That's costing money somehow or other. It's costing somebody money, yes? But they're never going to be seen if you don't want to market. Now, there's 2 things. People go, I want a traditional publisher because they'll do the marketing for me. Wrong. The only person that's going to market your book is you. Plus some others may help you, and that's great. We'll look at that in a minute. So that's the first thing we need to clear out the room. You've got to market. If you don't want to market, that's absolutely fine, but it's absolutely pointless publishing your book. And that's it, yeah? Because people need to know about it. They need to know. And if your name's not James Patterson, your publisher's not going to be marketing your book for you or promoting
J.K. Rowling, right?
Yeah. Or J.K. Rowling. Yeah. They're not going to be. They're not going to be doing it for you. You'll be expected to do a lot of it yourself, and that's a good thing because nobody knows their product better than you do. Nobody. You know that book inside out, so you're best placed to put it forward. Now, the thing is that people say, "Oh, well, I can't." Yes, you can. You can do it in your own way. Now, people go, I could never do what you do, Wendy. They're right. They can't do what I do because they're not me. You know, you can't do what I'm doing. You can do it in your own way, Yeah, but if you copy me word for word for word for word for word, you're not going to sell any books because you don't sell crime books. You sell fantasy. But if you use the same techniques as me in your own way, then things will be different. The other thing is I get people, when I do talks on this, I do talks on this worldwide. I run workshops and I do talks. I've been keynote speakers, and people, I'll say, who thinks they can market? And there'll be like about three, I'll say, who likes marketing? And there's about three people puts their hand up in the room, you know. And then I'll say, who enjoys marketing? And you'll be lucky if you get one person puts their hand up. And I say, look, if you think you can't market, you're absolutely right. And everybody in the room goes, she's coming here and telling us we can't market. I say, if you think you can market, you're absolutely right. There's two things. First of all, I have never, not once, failed to help people market their books. And I don't plan on starting with you guys. That takes the onus off of them and onto me, because I'm helping you do it. Yeah? So everybody relaxes. And I say, the second thing is, your brain will tell you exactly what you want it to hear. It will believe whatever you want it to believe. If you say you can't, you're right. If you say you can, you're right. So maybe it's time for a change of mindset. Tell your brain that you can. Put it above your desk. I can market my books under it if you want, in my own way. Yeah? Now, the other thing is, first of all, people, in order to purchase anything, somebody needs to have seen or heard about it at least 6 times. At least 6 times. Some people say 7. Yeah? Now, people say to me, Wendy, you're everywhere. And they're right. I am everywhere. I am everywhere. And I use every single opportunity I can to market and promote my books without annoying the heck out of everybody that comes along, right? Now, the best time to start marketing your book is now. I'm going to say that again. The best time to start marketing your book is now. If you haven't written one word of your book, the best time to start marketing your book is now. If you've written half the book, the best time to start marketing your book is now. If you've written the whole book and it's published, the best time, you get the picture. If you've got 6 books out and you haven't done any marketing, the best time to market your book is now. Start where you are right now. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, when I was challenged to do NaNoWriMo, I said, and we spoke about that at NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writers Month, in last week's episode. What I did was I thought, I'll write a blog post. If I tell everybody I'm going to write a book, I'm more likely to write the book, because, right. So I wrote a blog post, and my blog post, you can find it. You can go back through my blog. It's Wendy, it's bookaholic.com, Wendy H. Jones Bookaholic or something. And you can find that post. And I basically said, I'm going to write a book, and it's going to be a mystery book, and it's going to be set in Dundee, and I'm doing it for NaNoWriMo, and I'm going to write 50,000 words in November. And the world went wild. Everybody was going, where can I buy it? Did you actually read the post? I haven't written it yet. And I kept on writing blog posts, and I kept writing blog posts, and I told people on social media, and I told people I was writing a book. By the time my book was published, everybody was waiting for it, because I'd built up a buzz, because I had done things. Now, I'm not saying every day on social media go, I've written 20 words today. I've written another 1,000 words today. Mix it up, guys. With all due respect, nobody in the world is interested in how many words you've written every single day. Yeah? You're just going to bore people and they'll switch off. Mix it up. Yes, tell them how many words you've written. You can say, I've had an awesome writing day and I've written 20,000 words. But the next day, say, my character. Now, my character, I thought they were a bit like Dirk Bogarde in such and such a movie, and I've got them with that vibe today, and it's so exciting. you know, the next day, talk about the fact you've had minced potatoes for your lunch. Leave the writing and go on to something else. Make it interesting, mix it up. Yeah. Create a buzz about your product. And that's what it's all about. Now, the different ways I market my book. The other thing I did, I went into Waterstone's bookshop, which is the UK equivalent of Barnes and Noble. And I said, oh, can I have a book launch? And they kind of went, who are you? And I explained, and the fact that I write crime books and the book was set locally sealed the deal, because in Scotland, we love a crime book. We like a nice dead body in Scotland, okay? I live in Dundee, which is the crime capital of Scotland. Not the crime, sorry, the murder capital of Scotland. Per capita, it's a safe city. But we do have murders, yeah?
Yeah.
So we do like a nice dead body in Scotland. So our biggest export out of Scotland is whiskey. Our second biggest export is crime writing, yeah? So the fact I was writing Scottish crime books gave me an added edge straight away. You can't go far. So I literally had a launch. I had a launch set up, a book launch. And they wanted to make sure I got enough people there. And they said, how many people are you going to have there? And I said, about 100. And went, oh, that's too many. And I said, oh, don't panic. It'll be fine the night. It'll all be all right in the night, which it was. I provided food. We had a massive launch. I launched it online. And the book sold extremely, extremely well. The libraries picked up on it. Because I had been talking about it everywhere, the libraries had picked up on it, even though I hadn't gone in and told the libraries. On the day it came out, they bought 25 copies for Dundee libraries. Yeah? So the libraries had it. So all the libraries were talking about it and saying, oh, you need to, because the word was out there. And the other thing is networking. And this ties in with it. I'm a real networker. I will join everything. I'm a serial joiner, yeah? I'm in the Society of Authors. I'm in the Alliance of Independent Authors. I'm in the Crime Writers Association. I'm in the Crime Readers Association. I'm in the Sisters in Crime. I'm in the Association of Christian Writers.
And you still go into NaNoWriMo. I see you posting in there all the time.
Yeah, I'm doing NaNoWriMo. I'm a serial joiner. I'm in everything. But you build up friends. You build up networks that way. And because you do that, people will speak about your book. Yeah? Branding was part of it. Because I did all that, people were talking about my book when it came out and were talking about all my other books, yeah, when they came out. When the book came out, I put invites to the launch in every single cafe, every single, they did know, the library did know my book was coming out. I put leaflets in. I didn't realize they would get books. I put leaflets in every single library saying, come to my book launch. And I did that. Then people started asking me to talk about the book. And I agreed. I say yes to everything. Say yes to everything and worry about the aesthetics. Worry about how you're going to do it later. Say yes. So I was asked to speak at Dublin Writers' Conference. I said yes, I did it. I was asked to speak at libraries. I've been to every single library in Angus, and we'll come back to that again. Angus is the county that surrounds Dundee. Dundee is its own county, and then surrounding it is Angus. I've been to every single library in Dundee and spoken about the books. I tell everybody about the books. So I was doing talks. Because I was doing talks, I built up a bigger readership, and it was all moving forward like that. Because you're doing that, you can talk about, you can invite people on social media to that. I invited people to the events, but everybody told their friends about my book on social media because they were all talking about it. So it's all building up a network of people who will talk about your books.
Right.
Yeah.
I wanted to pause for just a second. There's something that I did recently, just because I did RadCon, and I've talked to you about that. I did a fan convention that for science fiction and fantasy. And since my book is science fiction, I went there as a pro and had an opportunity to do a lot of things. But I discovered something interesting about talking to people. And that is that it's really good to give them something to remember you by. And so we came out with these. It's a bookmark, okay? It's got a little tassel on it. And what we found was something really interesting. Just the addition of the tassel. People were walking around the convention doing this with the tassel.
Yeah.
And it was really fun, but it is something that they're going to actually use and not throw away, because we were doing business cards before that wasn't really working.
No.
But this has a place on the back where they can find the books, and then a little testimonial on the front, and it's pretty, and my cover artist made the graphic and stuff for it, and all of that. But the thing about those is we never go any place without them.
No.
So when we're on the bus or in a grocery line or whatever, my husband does this thing. He asks people, do you like to read for fun? Just in casual conversation. And they'll either say yes or no. If they say yes, he says, my wife has written a book, and he pulls one of these bookmarks out and hands it to them. And he tells them a little bit about the book. Well, we have a 4-year-old grandson that's always with Papa everywhere he goes. Mm-hmm. And so he will go up to somebody and say, do you like to read for fun? And if they say yes, he says, my wife has written a book.
That's funny.
Says, no, his grandmother has written a book.
Yeah.
But it's the whole idea of being prepared all the time to talk to somebody about your books anywhere you go. But anyway, go ahead.
But I mean, merchandise is important as well. I have merchandise. I have bookmarks. I do have business cards, because if you're at a convention, sometimes if it's a professional convention, you want to give a business card rather than a bookmark, because if you're sometimes you end up with 20,000 bookmarks, and you're like, what do I do with these? I have to take them back in a suitcase. I've got bookmarks. They're brilliant. Bookmarks are superb. And thank you for bringing that up. But I have postcard size cards. I have business card size cards with all my different covers on, and I have bookmarks, and I have bookmarks for my Ferguson Flora stuff, and I have my Ferguson Flora books, and I have bookmarks for my Detective Inspector Shona Mackenzie. So merchandise and being prepared, that's absolutely brilliant, because then you can talk to them. I mean, I've left bookmarks in a cafe just to leave the bookmarks. I went to a cafe one day to have a chat with my friend. She says, got any cards on you? I said, yeah. So she went around the whole cafe and gave everybody my cards. And I'm like, okay, you just do my marketing for me. Because people, if they get enthused, will do that, Mm-hmm. But the other part of doing it is branding. People need to know what they're getting from the front cover. So my books are branded beautifully as crime books, Scottish crime books, because they've got a picture of Dundee on the front, and they've got a picture of a scene from the book on it. So one book's Dead Women, it's got a woman's hand with blood on it, and a picture of Dundee from the hill that's in the middle of Dundee. The second book is to do with dead nuns and dead prostitutes and things. So there's a picture of a nun on the front, and it's a picture of Dundee, that's the bridge. Mm-hmm. And there's a cemetery. So they're all branded as part of the title and as part of the book, and they know they're crime books from the get-go. My Cass Claymore Mysteries, Cass Claymore is a red-headed motorbike riding ex-ballerina who inherits a private detective agency and accidentally hires an ex-con dwarf and an octogenarian. It's a funny mystery. It's a funny mystery. The fun is just a laugh out loud load of capers. That's what it's meant to be. It's meant to be like Janet Ivanovich's Stephanie Plum series. So I went and looked at the covers online of people like Sue Grafton, Stephanie Plum, blah, blah, blah. They're more modern covers, because remember, covers change over time. And my cover designer came up with a set of covers for both of them that are branded beautifully. So they know what they're getting. It's one series, it's another series. If you look at the cover and the title, you're getting a humorous crime. If you look at the other one, it's all branded around books that are the same as that. So right. Branding is important, because you have a split second to convince someone. Now, I also have children's books, and I'm going to bring up taglines. And Bertie the Buffalo is a little buffalo that runs around Scotland causing havoc. My publisher, Bertie the Buffalo, did so well. I mean, and I'm going to get to book signings. By the time Bertie the Buffalo came out, was published, I literally had book signings at nearly every Waterstones that I could reach from Dundee in Scotland. Mm-hmm. Twice on a Saturday, sometimes 3 times on a Saturday. And I was going from bookshop to bookshop to bookshop. and they were all excited about this buffalo. Now, you've got to bear in mind that Bertie the Buffalo really ran away in real life. He ran away in real life, and it was the BBC that called him Bert. Yeah, so the whole of Scotland knew him anyway. So that makes life a bit easier. But I had set up a buzz by putting this book signing tour together, and every single Saturday and Sunday I was at a bookshop doing a book signing for Bertie the Buffalo. He's done so well that the publisher came up with a fluffy toy, and the fluffy toy is as cute as they come. I'm not allowed to call it a fluffy toy. It's a plush toy, I'm told. I'm not allowed to say fluffy. And also a colouring book. So he's got all sorts of merchandise around him, but they have to pay for his merchandise. You don't get it free. Yeah. But I had done all that. Now, obviously, I'm doing children's picture books. I'm doing adult crime books that you wouldn't want a child to read. I'm doing adult humorous crime. I'm doing young adult mysteries. I'm all over the place. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I came up with a tagline, and this gets people buying. Yeah. And books that entertain you from the cradle to the grave. Yeah. Come up with a tagline that ties things together.
Yeah. In mine, it's nothing is as it seems to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant. That's a good one. And that's what you need. But you can say it to people. Now, so far, I've only spoken about what you're doing in the physical realm. Yeah, I have been all over the world doing book tours, signing books, you name it. I did 8 weeks in the States last year, and I went to all sorts of conventions, and I was speaking at conventions, and I went to CPE, which is Christian Products Expo. My publisher for Bertie the Buffalo were there, and they said, you can come. They want you, and we'll do a book signing, which turned out rather nice because all the bookshops were going nuts over Bertie. They were ordering the soft toys, they were ordering the books, and they said, oh, we'll have the T-shirt. And I'm like, cool your jets, cowboy. The T-shirt's mine. There's only one T-shirt, and I bought it. I've only put it on the stall as a bit of decoration. It's not for sale. Mm-hmm. It's not for sale. But they were all ordering them because they liked it. But I did a 10-week tour with all my books, not just one book, all my books. Yeah, I was in bookstores. I was in libraries. I was at restaurants. I was at cafes. I was in, you name it, I was there doing book signings. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did book signings anywhere that wanted me to do a book signing. Crumbs, I'd have done it by the side of a swimming pool if they'd wanted me to. Why not? Yeah, it's getting the word out. Then the local press were coming out because I dressed Scottish. I had Scottish Highland dress on to do it all.
Oh, very good.
I was dressed in a cream dress with my clan tartan sash on.
Oh, that is so cool.
So I did that. So I was branding myself as Scottish. People didn't want Scottish books. They didn't want Scottish books. People were coming up to me and going, do you write anything other than crime? And here's my biggest piece of advice to people. I go, not really. Well, they'll go, I only read romance. And I go, well, I don't write any romance. There's not enough romance in my books for you, so I don't want to sell it to you because I'm not selling you a book you're not going to read. Yeah, people will go, I've heard authors say, they'll go, someone will come up to them and go, oh, do you write romance? No, I only write horror. Well, I don't like horror. Oh, you like this one. Why don't you buy it?
Oh, yeah, no.
No, they won't. They won't like it.
As a marketer, the one thing that I kept telling people is, you don't need 1 million hits on your website. You need people who want what you have to come to your website.
Yeah, absolutely.
And those people will purchase. 1 million hits gets you nothing. And you need to focus on your audience, the people who love to read your genre. And like that, talking to somebody who doesn't want it, that doesn't make them a bad person. They just don't read that particular kind of book. So leave them alone.
But you know what? You'll talk to them and you go, well, horror, I don't know a lot about horror apart from Stephen King. What do you like? By the time you get chatting, they usually go away with 2 signed books for Uncle George's Christmas or something, Right. I don't force them on them. But by the time you've had a nice chat with them, then they'll buy something usually, because they think, oh, well, I know somebody who likes crime. Maybe they'd like it for their birthday.
once again,
You know.
doesn't it come down to creating relationships?
Absolutely. That's what
Every
it comes
single
down to.
time.
Yeah. Now, other marketing things, going back to this, have you got time for this? I can talk forever about this.
No,
Yeah.
let's go ahead and do another 10 minutes and we'll wrap.
I can do that. Yeah. So it won't last more than that anyway. I said then you need to see you 6 times. Yeah. So you need to be on, you need to have a website. I would advise everybody to have a website. It doesn't need to be the flashiest website in the world, but have a website. As a minimum, have your books on it. And about you and about what you write. Yeah, there are lots of other things you can develop it into in the future, but future-proof your website. A lot of people will start off with a free one and then discover that they can't actually make it into a better one because it was free in the first instance. It doesn't have the capability. Start off with a free WordPress site or something, and then you've got the possibility to develop it because WordPress, you can take it further. Exactly. Have your own mailing list. Your own mailing list is second to none. Now, I'm going to tell you something, and not many people know this yet, so not many people have actually signed up to it because I haven't told the world. I now have 2 mailing lists. I only had 1 previously. I now have 2. I have a fiction and a non-fiction or mailing list. If you go to my general website, which is wendyhjones.com, you will get a pop-up that says, would you like a free book? And you'll get a free D.I. Shona Mackenzie mystery. That's always been happening. Now, if you do that, fill it in, you'll get a free book. If you want it, you don't have to. If you click on the writing and marketing tab at the top, up will come a different pop-up. And the different pop-up says, would you like a free writing and marketing book? Now, it's not a big book, but it's jam-packed full of tips, yeah, to get you started, to get you moving forward. You are signing up to my newsletter, but you're not going to be swamped because I don't have time to write 2 newsletters every day. So trust me, you'll get it once a fortnight minimum, yeah? A maximum, I mean. You're not going to get it any more often than that. So have a pop-up on your website where people can sign up to your newsletter. Give them a freebie, a lead magnet. Your lead magnet is something that will lead them to the rest of your books. Yeah. Now I have 2 nonfiction books for writers. One is called Motivation Matters. And Motivation Matters is 366 motivational tips for writers to get them writing every day. It's for a leap year. So, you know, but you can do them in any order you want. You don't have to do them in order. Some of them would be tricky to do at the moment because it was written when we could go outside. So, you know, and if you're in Texas, you definitely won't be able to do some of them because it involves going to the beach. And I know there's no, so you just have to redo some of the others. You know, there's enough, with 366 exercises, there's plenty you can do. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's not a drama. That's one of them. My other book it's called Power Pack Book Marketing, but I don't want anybody to buy that at the moment. Please don't. The reason for that is it's out of date. There's a brand new version of it coming out. It's called Marketing Matters, and it will be out in the next 2 weeks. So wait until that comes out if you want to buy it. So
okay,
website.
So everybody pay attention. Marketing Matters by Wendy H. Jones. I'm going to be at the front of the line to buy it.
Yeah. So you've got your website. You've got your newsletter. You need to be on social media. Now, if you hate social media with a purple passion, there's 2 things. First of all, you might want to think about being on it, because you want to get to meet other people. But do not under any circumstance, I know people that have done this, they suddenly go, oh, I need to get the word out about my book, so I'm going to join Facebook. And then they spam the heck out of everybody. No, 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 no. Social media is called social media for a reason. It's social. It's not called marketing media, it's called social media. Be friendly, tell them stuff about yourself. I mean, at the moment, everybody's probably losing the will to live on my social media because I've been moaning about the sawing that's been going on in my area, and it's driving me nuts because it's going on all day, every day.
Right.
But it's not
I saw that post on your site, and I thought, yeah, I've had neighbors like that.
But again, I've made it into a fun post. Be fun, be positive. I just said, that sawing is back again. It never halts, morning, noon, and night. At the moment, I'm trying to work out how to put a scene into my book that involves sawing somebody up and putting them into a wood chipper. And it got so much attention because everyone was telling me how I could do it, which is really worrying. And I had people going, Wendy, I'm really worried about your friends because they seem to know a lot about this. And it's true. I could not believe how much people knew about putting bodies through wood chippers.
Right.
Apparently they've researched it. Don't ask. Don't ask.
I don't want to know.
By the way, I'm a crime writer, not a serial killer.
Okay.
So you can still make things fun. Being negative on, okay, at the moment, feelings are running high and people are putting political posts out, and I'm not saying anything about that. I understand why and I fully support it, yeah? But if that's all you're doing, you need to try and be fun as well. Get the balance. It's like anything in life, get balance. And use every single, the networking is second to none. Say yes to everything. I say yes to everything. Would you like to be on my podcast? Yes. Would you like to be on my television show? Yes. Would you like to come and speak at a conference in South Carolina? Yes. I mean, last year I was meant to be back in the States this year for 10 weeks, and I was doing a marketing, not marketing, I was speaking at conferences on marketing and writing, and I was also speaking on, things like write a killer first line, killer marketing techniques for authors.
I love that you use the word killer because you're a crime writer.
And also it's in my first series, all the books start with the word killers.
I noticed.
Killer's Countdown, Killer's Craft. So it ties in with that. Obviously, I have to change the title if I'm talking at schools. It's different. It's different. But I was meant to be speaking at schools. I was meant to be speaking at libraries. And this was on the East Coast. I was networking last year. I was speaking at a conference. Someone came up to me and said, would you like to go on the, she says, I hear you. You said you like NCIS. I said, oh, I love NCIS. She said, would you like to go on the set? And I went, yes, I rather would. She said, are you back next year? I said, yes. She says, we'll arrange it. That's in Los Angeles. I was going to fly to the set of NCIS. I don't care. Yes is the answer.
Yes.
Yeah? Yes. Because one, you learn so much, and two, I might get to meet Gibbs.
Oh, of course.
That's the real reason. But anyway, yes, because
and
something
Ducky.
will come out of it.
Oh, I love Ducky.
Oh, Ducky as well, yeah. But because I was saying that, then opportunities opened up for me to be able to do book signings there as well. So, and because I've networked, because I'm nice to people, because I support other people, and that's the biggest thing. Support everybody else. Don't do it because you want them to support you. Do it because you're a pleasant person and you want to share their success. You want to help them on their path to success, yeah? When I did a radio show, it was called Wendy's Book Buzz, I interviewed authors about their books, yeah? They talked about their books. I got nothing out of it. I did it every week for 3 years. I got nothing out of it for myself, but other people did, yeah?
Yes.
And that's what it was about. My podcast, I'm interviewing people about writing and marketing. It's called The Writing and Marketing Show, and it comes out every week on a Wednesday. Sorry, I shouldn't be mentioning my podcast on your podcast.
No, please do. It's fine.
But do all these things. Do a podcast. Why not do a podcast? Yes, I'm doing it. I'm helping other people. They'll help me just because they want to, or because they thought Wendy was helpful to me. Yeah? When you're at other book signings, say if somebody comes up to you, it's 10 of you doing a book signing and you're writing crime books and somebody comes up and says, I don't write romance, go, or I don't write sci-fi. I go, oh, Bonnie, I don't do it, but Bonnie, who's 3 tables up, she is a brilliant, brilliant sci-fi writer. You need to go up to her table. Seriously, go and talk to her. Do it now. If you like sci-fi, and I'll send them off in your direction. That does 2 things. First of all, much as I'd love to stand and talk to them for an hour, other people can't talk to me about my crime books if I'm doing that.
True.
Secondly, it gets you a sale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it gets people to know about your books. It's no skin off my back. I'm not upsetting anybody. I'm not stopping a sale for myself because it's somebody else.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Work together. Yeah. Work together with everybody else, because then you will do better. It's greater than the sum of all parts. And I've spoken for so long, Bonnie, I'm sorry.
Wendy, you're brilliant. I could sit here and listen to you for hours, but I'm thinking probably my viewers might not have quite as much time to watch.
Sorry.
Thank you so much for being part of this. And I really look forward to continuing the discussion in other ways and in other venues. You're amazing, and you have a fan. I mean, I'm just totally a fan. So everybody.
May I ask, Bonnie, where are you? Where are you in America?
Oh, I'm in Washington State.
Washington State, right.
Mm-hmm.
My book tour has been moved by 1 year.
Mm.
Yes, so it's happening next August, September, October. I'm not coming this year for obvious reasons. We're all worrying about coronavirus. So if you would like to do a book signing with me in Washington State, because I'm going to be there next year, then we'll look at doing that if you would like to.
Oh, that would be brilliant. I would love that so much, just if nothing else, just to hang out with you. You're awesome.
You heard it first here.
Okay, everybody pay attention. Wendy and I, we're going to be doing this thing. All right. Thank you for watching today. This has just been so much fun, and I really love doing this series because I am learning so much, and I hope you are as well. Please join us again next time. We'll have more really wonderful things to talk about in the publishing industry and about the author's journey. And here's the thing. Just take a moment. Like it, comment about it, ask some questions, give me some suggestions. We would love to hear your thoughts, and share this with somebody else who might can use this information, because when you're writing, like she said, we have to work together as authors, and you might have picked up one little thing today that might make all the difference in selling your books and getting your books noticed. And I hope that that's what happens for you and for me and for all of us, that we work together and get out there to the Biblio Files in our community. Thank you. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time on Biblio Files. Bye.